Hi everyone, and welcome to the Life of the Troxels. My name is Laura, and today I wanted to share with you a few of my favorite outside things that you can buy from Amazon. So basically, this is just everything that my family likes to use when we're outside in our yard or while we're camping for a day at the beach. And it's a very wide variety of things. We have some expensive things, some less expensive things, some things for our kids, for our dog. It's just a wide range of things that we love to use, especially as we're coming into spring and summertime. And so I wanted to share them with you, and hopefully you can find something that you haven't heard of before. If you like this video while you're watching, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below which of these items you're looking forward to trying. So the first category that I have is water. So this is everything related to playing in and around the water. The first thing I want to mention is our above ground pool. And this isn't a hard-sided pool, it's an inflatable pool that you fill with water. It's only about 3 feet deep. We've used this pool for the past 4 or 5 years, and we've used 3 of them in that time. So sometimes you can get about 2 or 3, about 2 years with each one. We've had some where the lawnmower or the edger has put a hole in it, or they get dirty because we didn't take care of it. So it's really important if you're gonna get one of these pools to also get some of the accessories that go with it, like the filters or the covers. They even make like a solar cover to put it and kind of keep the water warm for you, which is really fun. We love this pool. Like I said, it's only about 3 feet deep, but it's perfect because you're able to float on it if you want to be on a floaty, or our kids are able to stand in it, and I don't have to worry about them going into the deep end. And then it's 12-foot radius, so it fits perfect in our backyard, and our entire family is able to use it. Speaking of our pool, we have a bunch of floaties that we like to use with it, but my favorite one is this one that's kind of shaped like a chair, like a lounge chair, where you're sitting up versus laying back. And I like it for 2 reasons. One is that when you're sitting up, I'm able to maybe hold one of my daughters on my lap with me. It also kind of keeps my head more protected from the sun versus if I was lounging back, my face would be exposed. As well as when the water's a little bit colder and you don't really want to be in the water, this kind of keeps you a little bit higher out of the water. Super fun. This is my favorite type of floaty. Not pool related, but water related. We've used these inflatable paddle boards on the lake. You just use a hand pump, you inflate them, they come with your own paddle, and we got the super big size, and they're big guy tested. So my husband is 6'5", and he's able to ride it, as well as his dad's been able to, and they don't sink in, which is a real concern with a lot of the inflatable versions of the stand-up paddle boards versus like the harder ones. So we really like that we were able to use it that way, but then it deflates really small and it's easily portable on like a boat or in a car or anything like that. So we have 2 of those and we love them. So the next category I have is camping. And so this is everything we use when we're camping in our RV, or just spending a lot of time spending a day at the beach, or a lot of time maybe at a park. One of the things that we like to use, even in our backyard, is this fold-up camping table. It basically folds up like one of those camping chairs do, where you can remove the top and fold it, and it fits into this little bag. It's got a top with 4 cup holders, as well as like a little shelf on the bottom. Super lightweight, takes up hardly any space, and it's the perfect thing to like drag over to the next to the pool where we're using it, or to set up a table if you're gonna be somewhere like the beach, and super easily transportable as well. Then one thing we love to do is use our Traeger, and this is like a pellet smoker Traeger. I'm sure you've heard of this before. And we've literally gone through every single size. We weren't sure if we were gonna like it, so we started off with the smaller size and ended up loving it. So we passed that one on and got the next size up, and then that one we gave to my in-laws, and then we got the next size up. So right now we have the Big Daddy Traeger grill that we keep in our backyard, as well as we have one of the tabletop versions that we keep in our RV with us. So it doesn't have any legs, you keep it on a tabletop, but it works exactly the same way. It's obviously much smaller, but it's about the size of like a, I don't know if you can quite fit a 9x13 in it, but you might be able to. So it's about that size of a tray to be able to smoke things while we're camping. And it makes it so much easier to have that versus all of the different other equipment that you might need while you're camping. So if you're interested in something like a Traeger grill, you could try all the different sizes. And so I've mentioned this in a previous Amazon video, but this is our little cabana. It's basically a, it's kind of like, sets up the same way that a camping tent would, and you just put the poles in and you pop it up. It comes in a bunch of different sizes. I think we got the 6-person size, so it's definitely big enough for a couple different chairs and all your things. It's tall enough you could theoretically change in it if you needed to. All the 4 sides zip up, but then one side completely opens, so you have the view. We used it at the beach, so it was a nice way to kind of stay out of the sun, but also to have access to the beach and the sand and everything that we were there for. So this was a really cool find that we had. We haven't used it very much, but I definitely thought it was super easy to set up and a really great option. We all know the little camping chairs that kind of like spring shut and like spring open, and they're very lightweight and portable and don't take up very much space. We have one of those, but it's a 3-person chair. So it's basically a couch. And if you've watched any of our camping videos, you've definitely seen it because we set it up every time. And it's 3 of those little camping chairs kind of connected together. And it's not, you're not able to like lay across it because it kind of swoops for each seat, but we've definitely gotten our family of 5 sitting on it around the campfires at night, and it's got cup holders, and it's really an awesome thing being able to connect it like that. And then it folds down pretty small. It takes up the same amount of space as 3 camping chairs would, so it fits really easily into our RV, and we're able to bring it with us whenever we're traveling. So we have 2 different fire pits that I recommend, and one of them we use in our backyard and one of them we use while we're camping and traveling. So the one in our backyard is like a barrel size, so you can build a much deeper fire. They both have lids on them, but this one is great just to kind of keep in your backyard. It comes with a little cover around it to protect it when you're not using it, and we bring that thing out during the summertime, but also during the winter. We'll bundle up, we'll have a fire, we'll do s'mores and things like that in our backyard. And then the second fire pit is one that's actually, again, really easy to travel with. The legs are removable. So when you put the legs on, it's 12 feet off the ground, which is important for a lot of different camping areas based on like safety. But then you can take the legs off and they go inside, put the lid on, and it's much smaller, easily fits in our storage area. And it's a much smaller fire, but really easy to use, still great to get, you know, when you want to do those s'mores or you want to have that fire at the end of the night. It's just a great size for a smaller area than the barrel one. This next item are tablecloth weights, which is exactly what they sound like. They're little weights that you clip to your tablecloth to prevent the wind from blowing it away. So I got these when we were going camping. We needed a tablecloth, and then it kept blowing off. And instead of just putting heavy things in the corner of the table, we put the weights on it, and it was really able to like keep it down. Even if the table was empty, it would weigh them down. And we've used them for a lot of different things, like attaching to balloons for birthday parties, or things along those lines, holding down towels that are being draped over to dry. You can clip the bottom of the towel so they don't blow away while they're drying. So they're very versatile. I got the heart-shaped ones because I thought they were super cute, but there's a lot of different options that you could have. And then my last camping thing is a thermometer. I don't know if it's a thermometer, a temperature gauge. I think thermometer is for like body temperature, but basically what it is it's got this little receiver that you put outside, and then it has your little like screen that you keep inside with you, and it tells you what the temperature is wherever the receiver is. And so that's really fun when we're camping. We'll be inside in the RV, we'll be like, oh, it's really cold outside, or oh, it's really hot outside. We have one in our home as well. We just put like right by our back porch. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Okay, so the next category are things that we have for our kids. So we have 3 daughters, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 9-month-old. And so these are just a few things that they specifically like to use, or we use as a family when we're outside. So the first thing is a kid-size fold-up table and chairs. We all know about those basic fold-up tables for adults, but this one is really low to the ground. And we also got a set of 4 chairs that can go around it. Especially when you have like a 2-year-old, it's really hard for them to sit in the big size chairs at the big size table. And so getting a set that was their size was perfect. They have a lot of cousins, and so the cousins will come and they'll all sit at the little kid size table. We've used it for like birthday parties or like doing crafts or things like that. And one of the things I like about this particular table is that the legs extend. So as your kids get taller, you can extend the table up a little bit more and there's more room for them. So it's definitely versatile and grows with them. Then we also got this kid scooter. We've been trying to get my oldest daughter to ride a bike or be interested in those types of like vehicles. She's not interested in the little 4-wheelers. She's not interested in push bikes, balance bikes, bikes with training wheels. She just doesn't understand that yet. But in order to be mobile outside, we found this scooter. And I love it because it has 2 wheels in the front versus 1 wheel, which makes it really easy to balance. It just stands up on its own. So it's super easy to steer, super easy to balance, and she loves it. And my 2-year-old is also able to use it as well. So this is definitely the purchase that got like the most mileage, like not to be a pun, but the most mileage out of it. And what's so great about it is it doesn't spin around like the razor scooters of my childhood, where you get like whacked in the ankle and like basically like paralyzed while you're writhing in pain from the pain in your ankle. So that is definitely an improvement from the scooters when I was a kid. And speaking of vehicles, my kids also love the Cozy Coupe. And it comes in like, it's like the orange car with the yellow roof. But the thing about that is when she gets to be about 3.5, she's outgrown it and she's not able to move it anymore. There's not enough room for her legs. So, and then there's also only 1 seat, and I have 3 kids, so they have to take turns using it. But they make a Little Tikes truck. It's basically like a pickup truck, and it's a little bit taller for her legs, but also taller for her head where the roof is. And then there's a back, and I think you're just supposed to use it as like storage, but my kids have figured out that if you sit backwards in the back, it's like a second seat and 2 people can ride it at the same time. And so my parents have one of these at their house, and my kids love it. Their cousins love it. They'll all take turns. Who gets to drive, who gets to sit in the back. So basically a 2-seater Cozy Coupe, highly recommend. The last thing is, again, kind of vehicle related, and it's these kids' bike seats. So when my husband and I are biking, we have the bike seats on our handlebars, and the kids can sit in that and be strapped in. We have used it as young as the age of 9 months, as soon as they're able to kind of prop themselves up and wear a helmet. And then my daughter has used it all the way through age 3. At age 4, she is now too big for it. So it's big wide range of ages and sizes for how their feet kind of fit into it, and they love being able to see everything. There's like a little steering wheel that they're pretending that they're driving, and so when we take our bikes out, that is something that we've gotten a lot of use out of. We actually ended up buying a second one for my other daughter just because we knew we'd be using it so much. So the last category is for my dog, and he has some cool things as well. One of them being a light up collar, and we've tried a couple of different versions of this, and some of them are really simple where they're just like a piece of plastic that you wrap around it. Some of them have like fabric on them. Some of them are like adjustable or whatever they may be. So we have this light up collar for him. I'll share my favorite one in the description box below. And he's a black dog, which means at nighttime it's like impossible to see him, especially if you're out camping or outside in a large area. And so putting this on him, we're able to see him wherever he may be and find him at night. We also have a 30-foot dog leash. And it's not one of those expandable and like retractable leashes. It's like a full-on fabric leash that normally we would walk him on a 6-foot leash, but we got the 30-foot one. And this one comes in handy when we're camping again, but we're somewhere where we don't want him to wander too far. So, or we're setting up, we're not able to watch him very easily. We'll just tie up the end of it, hook him to the other side, and he's able to wander within this 30-foot radius near our RV, but we don't have to worry about him running off or getting into trouble with like the neighboring dogs. It is kind of funny when you see him like get stuck behind the table as he's gone the long way around the table and doesn't realize if he went the other way he'd have all of his slack back, but he's only on it for just like a little bit while we're all hanging out. And it was definitely great when we first adopted him and we didn't trust that he wouldn't wander off. We were able to keep him on the leash, but he would kind of learn his freedom and learn like his radius away from us. And now he doesn't use it all the time, but that was one of the first purchases we had when we first adopted him that really came in handy. And then the last thing for a dog specifically is called a licket. And I realized when I was looking this up that licket is kind of a dirty word, but it's not dirty. Basically, it kind of reminds me of the water bottles that rabbits have in their cage, where it's like, hey, the water is coming down and you have to like move the little ball out of the way for the water to drink. But it's for a dog and it's on a hose spigot, and you just twist it onto the end of the spigot, you turn the water on, and the water never doesn't run until you push aside the little like lever. And he was able to figure that out really quickly, and we love it if he's outside for a long period of time. He never has to, we don't have to worry about him running out of water, knocking over the water bowl, something getting in it and contaminating it. He always has fresh water going as long as he can move the little thingy over. Definitely something that I didn't know growing up until I met my husband that this thing even existed. So I think it's a genius idea, and we literally use it every single day. So I hope you enjoyed watching and that you found some new things to enjoy for the upcoming seasons of spring and summer coming up. These will definitely come in handy for all of the outside activities that you will do. If you're looking for something in particular, I'll have it linked in the description box below. And I was going to say what my favorite one was, but I'll realize all of these are my favorites. So you let me know in the comments down below which one you thought was your favorite and one that you would be interested in trying out for yourself. My name is Laura, and thanks for watching The Life of the Troxels.